get in glory, yes. When I get in glory, yes. Well, there'll be a sing here, a sing there, a here, sing there, sing yeah. Everybody singing when I get to the glory. When I get to glory. Come on tonight, yes. Oh yes, oh yes. Well, I said now when I get in glory, yes. When I get in glory, yes. Tell me there'll be a break, a break, a heel break, yeah. Everybody's praying when I get to glory. Come on, put your hands together, come on. Come on, let's praise the Lord tonight, oh yes. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Well, I said now when I get in glory, yes. When I get in glory, oh yeah. Tell me there'll be a shout, shout here, a shout, shout there, a here, shout there, shout everybody shout, a sing, sing here, a sing, sing there, a here, sing there, sing everybody sing, a sing, a pray, pray here, a pray, pray there, a here, pray there, pray yeah. Everybody shouting when I get to glory, when I get to glory, when I get to glory. They're shouting in the west, they're shouting in the north, they're shouting in the south. Put your hands together tonight. Everybody let's shout, yeah. Come on tonight, everybody let's shout, let's shout, let's shout, let's shout. Come on, shout, come on, let's shout, let's shout. Come on, oh yeah, let's shout, let's shout, let's shout. Let's shout, let's shout, let's shout, let's shout. Well, everybody shout, everybody shout. Come on tonight, everybody shout. Have you been good to you? Have you been good to you? You want to lift your head, you want to clap your head, you want to lift your feet. Come on and let's shout tonight. Anybody here want to shout? Anybody here want to shout? Have he been good to you? Did he make a way for you? Did he bring you through? Come on and let's shout tonight. Let's shout, 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 let's shout. Come on, let's shout. Everybody here, let's shout. Woo! Let's shout, come on. Let's shout. Well, let's shout it in the east. Now it's my happy privilege to turn the service over to the hands of our pastor. Give her a great big amen as she comes.
Yes. When the Lord gave me this message, I want y'all to sing that song. Where's P outside? I want y'all to sing that song when, at the end of this. If God builds the building, it will stand. Something's in my eye. But if he don't build it, it won't stand anyway. Number one, you got to have a good foundation. You got to have that. I am so thankful for all the teaching that I got coming up with my grandmother, and then going even further when I met the woman in Germany that brought me to the Lord. Thank God for the teaching. The teaching is the foundation. You don't have a firm foundation without solid teaching. That's why we have so many weak Christians that can't stand up. That's why I tell Tashana, no. You can do it. Well, you can do it. See, people say, well, honey, if you can't, the Lord understands. No, he doesn't. He made it possible for you to do it right, for you to be strong and solid and not broken up in a bunch of little pieces, falling apart at every little thing. You got to be strong enough. You can't last long as I last without a good foundation. You got to have a solid foundation. I'm coming to you from Isaiah, the 28th chapter, 14th verse says, wherefore hear the word of the Lord, ye scornful men, and rule this people which is in Jerusalem. Because you have said, we have made a covenant with death and with hell, or we had agreement. When the overflowing scourge shall pass through, it shall not come unto us, for we have made lies our refuge, and under falsehood have we hid ourselves. Therefore, thus saith the Lord God, behold, I lay in Zion for a foundation, a stone, a tried stone, a precious cornerstone, a sure foundation, and he that believeth shall not make haste. Look, I laid something solid for you. You got something that you don't have to be shaken or loose. They sing the song that he put it on a cornerstone so it wouldn't fall. And his angels guarded it, and his hand strengthened it. So you got to understand, we're not going to be any more a good Christian than what we are taught from the time we get saved. When somebody try to come and teach you after you've been around for a while, sometimes you're going to have problems. And you see why they get shaky. You see why they don't stand. You see why they're falling apart at the least thing. You see that. And I am amazed at the people in this hour that are just such weak Christians that can't take the heat. The old saying said, if you can't take the heat, get out the kitchen. You know, we got to be able to stand the test. We got to be able to make sure that we are solid enough that when the storm comes, when it gets difficult, when it gets dark, when it gets to look like it's too hard to do it, that we stand up like a soldier and say, we can. We can do it. I am working on a message, and I started the other day, and I got halfway through. I'm not through yet, but it's talking about, I forgot that quick. But it's talking about a good report and a bad report. And I was working on it because I thought I was going to preach it today, but not so. But I thought it makes a difference in what you hear and who you hear it from. It's true. When I tell you, everybody, for the most part, is pretty much set in place that you can't really be a Christian. You can't be a Christian without failing. And then they say, we all fail. We all sin. I said, no, we all don't. We all have sinned. But we all ain't still sinning. If we still sinning, something's wrong with you. You got to get past that. You got to be able to say, no matter what comes, how the devil brings it. You don't have to buy one thing the devil brings to you unless you want to. There ain't no other foundation but the one that he laid. If any man try to do anything else with it, it doesn't work. And what you see these preachers doing, they trying to lay this easy foundation that ain't solid, that's not strong. And you see Christians all over the country falling apart and can't stand up. And that's why. That's why. Foundation is shaky. So I looked at some of this stuff and I thought, wow, if the foundation be removed, what will the righteous do? If the devil could move the foundation, none of us could survive. Because the foundation is where the strength is. And then you're going to put up the walls and you're going to do all these things, but this is where the strength is. So I got to make it through this. When I look at me, I'm thinking, what are you struggling for? God ain't hard. It ain't hard to serve God. What are you talking about? That's the easiest thing in the world is to be saved. The way of the transgressor is hard, The one that's sinning is having a hard time. But if you're really serving God with all your heart and with a pure heart, let me tell you something. You ain't going to be back and forth and shaking. I don't know if I can make it. Well, the church I went to, they said, I don't care what that church said. You come over here for the truth. That's why you're here. They tell you about all these carnal things that you need, and it's material things, and it's this thing and that thing. It's a bunch of garbage. You can't survive off of cornflakes. You can't survive off of quick sandwiches, quick this and quick that. Everything is microwave. Walking with God, it ain't got nothing to do with a microwave because he's going to take you through a process. And it ain't quick. You don't push the button on 60 seconds and you come out gold. It don't happen like that. You got to go through some things, suffer some things. Ain't nothing wrong with going through the fire. Let me tell you, when you know that God's going to bring you out. So what there's a fire? So what they talked about me? So what they lied on me? Hey, I'm going through the process, and you know what? I'm going to do it with a shout. Yes. And what they're trying to do, they're trying to modernize holiness. Holiness is from the old school, baby. It's the old path. And when they try to change it and put you on another path and call it holiness, there's a problem. There's a problem. So modernize it. Let them say it's okay to do this. And okay, I saw Bishop Jakes at Aretha Franklin's funeral, and he's up there. She came down to MegaFest and performed for us. I thought, you going straight to hell, you big black bald-headed fool. You are going to hell. I can't believe you're standing there, a man that had once known God, and now you're friends with the world, that they invite you. They don't invite Christians. A businessman told me this in this town one time, said, Rose, we had a great, he said, some kind of get-together. The only thing was missing was you. I said, no, I don't go to parties. Oh, you don't? No, I don't. They think every preacher's the same. They curse, they lie, they go to parties, they have a drink. That ain't no real Christian. No, I'm not like them crooks. Neither do I plan to be. You got to be different. This is a day of holiness and righteousness. And he's sitting up there proud. I thought, boy, hell got a special place for preachers. Preachers that lie, preachers that tell people you're all right. You're not all right unless you're doing what the word says do. If you're doing your own thing and going here and going there, you ain't ready for God. That ain't salvation. I will declare it until the day I die. They're constantly trying to lay a foundation that, we live in a different age. God's in the same thing. He didn't change. He didn't rewrite the law. He didn't change his word. His word is what it is. No, I don't buy that stuff. So all of a sudden now it's okay to do this. It's okay to do that. It's okay if you a Christian woman, you walk out with some shorts on showing all your rear end. Well, that's all right. The Lord knows that you love him in your heart. You're a liar. Because if you loved him in your heart, you wouldn't be showing your rear end to the world. No, that's a bunch of crap. Everything is hanging out now. Before the weather could get good, it just barely got a little warm. Here come these holes out, all the boobs out, all the rear end out. You should have just came on out a pair of panties and nothing else. Because what you got on, you don't call clothes. Holiness is holiness. You know what? When I used to go out a lot, I don't go out now, but you can just put on regular clothes. Just say, where are you going? All dressed up. Dressed up? This is everyday stuff. But we dressed up unless you have on pants. I said, no. You don't wear slacks? No. I'm trying to understand. Now, the word says abomination for a woman to put on a garment that pertains to a man. That's what the word says. So you go out here and say, Sister Rose says something, telling people pants is wrong. The word called it wrong. Don't be looking at me talking about what I said. The word said so. Now you better be careful. Whatever dresses you get, you better hold on to them, because, honey, more and more, they're getting slacker and slacker. You go on a rack and look at some clothes. Oh, this is beautiful. There's a pair of breeches hanging off of it. I'm telling you, it's going from bad to worse. And I used to think, why would you want, say we're not all built nice. We don't have fine bodies. Most of us don't have a fine body. Well, if you put on a dress, you can't tell it's that bad. But if I put on a pair of pants, you can see all the reasons why I shouldn't have put them on. Oh my God, look at that, would you? When we go to the airport and leaving down, all we do is hump each other. It's unbelievable. Wanda told me the other day, said, Mama, you wouldn't believe this woman. She was out there, she's grossly overweight, and she has huge thighs. And she said, how do I say that? Since I don't know how to say that, I'm not going to say it. But she said, Mama, you won't believe it. The cellulite, why would you show that? Because if you got on a pretty dress, nobody knows you have fat under your skin. You want to show it? It's not attractive. I don't care if you don't like it. But it's true. Cover it up, baby. I'm saying the women, believe me, I'm not giving pregnant women a hard time. But I'm trying to understand, in our day, we wore maternity clothes. They weren't stressed over our fat belly. There's nothing attractive about a pregnant belly. And they just come with the things, the belly button sitting out there like a gun. And I'm just, come on. I'm trying to say, why would you want that to be seen? I used to wear maternity dresses, maternity tops, and I never like it if my navel is showing through it. That would always bother me, so you got to put something on it. So that's what I had to do. I don't want my navel showing. These folks just walk around proud. Ever since Hollywood started coming out and photographing their ugly belly, there's nothing pretty about that belly. If it ain't pretty when you ate potatoes and chicken, it ain't pretty with a baby in there. It's the God-sent truth. So what's the difference? A big belly is unattractive. I don't care how you look at it. But everything is changing in this hour. Everything. People are doing all these things. I'm a Christian. I'm a Christian. I'm a Christian. You're not a Christian. And I must tell you so. For other foundation can no man lay than is laid, which is Jesus Christ. No matter all the things that's going on in the church, the sure foundation can never be moved. God said, this seal shows that God, his people are his people. And the foundation is not going to shake. See, you ain't going to last no 50 years. You may last 50 years in the natural, but serving God, you are not going to last. You got to have something that when the wind blows, that you still standing tall. The church to this day still have props on the side trying to hold it up because the first time the wind comes, it's going to fall down. At my house, every time we plant a new tree, they have to put those things on the side to hold it in place until they grow solid enough, until when the wind blows, they won't move with the wind. See? But after a while, they want you to take that down because by now you can stand up. By now, you can make it through. I'm scared for the people in this hour. They whine too much. It's always whine. What is going to do for me? What I'm going to do about that? Just shut up. Get a grip. Grow up. Be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Be strong. Refuse to be weak. Nobody is rewarding you for your weakness. Nobody wants to be like you because you're weak. People admire strength even when they can't stand up. Or when they could stand up, but they're not standing up. Think for a minute. Have a solid foundation, a sure foundation. It's been tried. that it don't shake. It's been tried that it's solid. When Jesus laid that thing, it's laid upon the fact of what the truth is, and nothing can shake that or loose. If you don't like truth, you'll never be a strong Christian. I don't care how hard it comes and if it cuts like a knife. If you can't take it, you can't make it. You can't make it. You got to be corrected. Because otherwise you'll stick something in the foundation that's not supposed to be in there. When a storm comes, it's going to manifest itself that this is in there. What's wrong with me? You know, I got up this morning and I don't know, yesterday I felt pretty good, but today I just felt really shaky. You done laid something overnight in that foundation and it ain't functioning right. See, I've done a little bit of study on that. And I looked at some of the issues that causes foundation problems. Okay? So water is the main enemy in expansive soils problems. But when only part of the foundation heaves or settles, differential movement causes cracks and other damage. Most differential movement is caused by differences in soil moisture. So they're saying is that if you get too much water in the foundation, you're going to have, when it starts settling, it don't settle solid. You move in a new home, if that home foundation is not sure, give it about 10, 15 years. Things start shifting with it. You look at it, and here's the baseboard in the wall, and you go back to more. Here it is now. What is that crack doing there? That shouldn't be there. Something in the foundation, it should be the same when the house settles. If it's on solid foundation, it still should settle right. But if it ain't on firm foundation, it ain't going to settle right. So you got these issues. And so I say to the Lord, I wish I had all the people that got saved under me, because anybody, some of these people that come from other places, boy, they got some rotten foundation. Nobody never told them that was wrong. Nobody never said that's a sin. Nobody said you can't do that. That shouldn't be that way. Or no, God will not accept that. Nobody's told these people the truth. So the first time they hear from me, it's like, who do you think you are? You're telling me the truth. Ain't nobody ever bothered me. Nobody ever told me that I wasn't looking good. I'm not going to lie to you. That's how you'll get a solid foundation, because it's built off of truth. Truth makes us solid. So if the foundation ain't good over a period of time, the least bit of movement is going to cause cracks. You look up sometime in a building and you may see a long crack running down the wall. Something in that part of the foundation is not functioning right. Why is it? Is it too much moisture in it? Is it too much stuff there that's causing it to do that? Now listen to this one. Building life expectancy, the average lifespan of a conventional built building is about 120 years. Most of us ain't gonna live that long. But for modernist buildings, reinforced concrete and glass curtain walls is half that, only 60 years. The walls ain't solid. They'll last about 60 years. Well, if that's the case, if I had a bad foundation, I'd already be done. I was only given 60 years to survive. But hey, I'm way on past that. And I'm as solid today, if not more, than I was in my whole life. I'm not moved. I'm not shaken. When I see people telling people it's okay to sin, it's all right. No, it ain't. I'm not going to change that. I don't care how many preachers preach it. I'm from the old path. Let us go back to the old path of holiness, of righteousness. Yes. It says modernists, they want to put concrete and glass together. You know, that's detrimental no matter how you look at it. That's not going to stay together. Think about it. You better know from the pulpits of America what you are hearing, whether or not it is good or bad. Whether somebody's trying to put you into a certain situation that in the long run, at first it starts out, it looks pretty good. They still try to talk in tongues. They try to give a message. Don't get caught up with that stuff. The devil knows how to speak in tongues. It ain't God's tongue. Modernism is a movement toward modifying traditional beliefs in accordance with modern ideas. So that's what modernism is. That's what the church has done. They're not trying to do it. They've accomplished it. So it's okay. It's okay. I heard Don Lemon call Bishop Jakes his friend, and I listened to him. I said he never told you homosexuality was wrong. That's why he likes you. You're going to answer to God, bald head boy. You got to answer for that. He wouldn't be my friend. I would tell him, no, you can't stay like that. God didn't create us funny. Let's be honest. Let's do it with love, but let's be true. Let's be true, okay? So everybody's his friend. How is that? I'm trying to understand. Boy, you got a lot of worldly friends. The scripture says, he that is a friend of the world is an enemy of God. That's what I don't think that's hard to understand. That's plain English. If you're a friend to the world, you're an enemy of God. Hollywood don't love God. You're running with them. You're down at Caesar's Palace, taking your wife there to fly down there to listen to Celine Dion sing. That girl ain't saved. Well, what can she sing that's going to edify me? You ain't going to go in the club and hear, amazing grace. You ain't going to hear that in the club. If you can't hear Amazing Grace, get out. We went to Vegas one time, and they talk about the lions, the white lions. So we thought, well, okay, was it tigers or lions? Tigers. And so we said that, well, we ought to go see that. I'd like to see those white lions. So me and the girls finally got in around 11 o'clock at night. Honey, I said, Lord, I said, don't come right now. I didn't even know all this. I'm thinking we're just going to see some tigers, doing some tricks and stuff. Here comes somebody around with a black hood on and face covered up and black robes, and the lights is getting dim. And I'm saying, what are we doing? I thought this was a tiger show. The tigers only come out for about 5 minutes. The rest of it's a bunch of crap. I told my kids, I said, he told us to stand in the holy place, got to get out of here. I thought we were looking at tigers, white tigers. I didn't know all this stuff coming to the table and asking you, do you want a drink? What can we give you? I'm thinking, I got to get up out of here. You can't stay sitting in this crap. My kids one time went to the Ebony Fashion Fair, wasn't it? And Mama, can we go? I said, yeah, y'all can go. Just showing off fashion and stuff. Oh, no. It's more than that. So after they was gone, because I didn't know what was going on, the Lord said, tell your children to stand in the holy place. So they come back and say, it was a fine time for us to tell him to tell us after we've been out of the holy place. We didn't even know it was unholy. You can be deceived by certain things being told you this is what this is. That's not what it is. It's everything but that. That's the last time I went to anything that they said was, but I don't go to Vegas anymore, but it's unbelievable. Listen to this. The difference between modernism and postmodernism, each person has his own beliefs and philosophy in life, and each has a mindset of his own. Do you know how detrimental that is? That you got your own mind. Your own opinion of what God is, of what salvation is, what Christianity is. You got your own thing. Anytime man got his own thing, it's a disaster. He's made the biggest mess of his life trying to do it himself when God says, look, man, it's not in him to know what to do. I got to teach you and show you the way because you dumb as a bag of rocks. You don't know how to find your way. I got to lead you. I got to guide you. But the modern day says, whatever you believe. Oh, don't follow what you believe because it can take you out of here. Think for a moment. No, I got to go where the word says. This is what it says. A curtain wall glass is defined as thin, usually aluminum frame wall. Now, you know how flimsy aluminum is. A long ways from steel. Long ways. So it's containing an infills of glass, metal panels, or where am I at? No, the framing is attached to the building structure and does not carry the floor or roof loads of the building. How you gonna survive? These glass walls, they can't carry the load of the building. So how's it going to work for you? You got glass walls instead of solid walls. Drywall is not necessarily good either. You want to hang a picture, you better find a stud. Knock it in that drywall, it just keeps going through. After a while, it falls down in there. You need a stud. Y'all ain't got no studs. Everything you try to put up and call it Jesus falls through on the other side. So you know what? I'm not about nothing. Who was that? Amber said this morning, Sister Rose, my heart sucks. I said, well, nobody would know that better than you. My heart sucks. We're talking about the pure in heart. I said, well, since you acknowledge that it sucks, then ask God to give you one that don't suck. And do he want to do it? Of course. He wants to do it. So now if somebody done told me this is Christianity and it's no more than a glass wall framed in with aluminum, I'm in trouble because I can't survive. You know how easy glass breaks? You know how aluminum will bow out on you. Steel will stay straight. So everything God gives us is solid. What man gives us is going to fall away. It ain't going to last. Okay? Listen to this. So the structure of the building is what we put on the foundation. So if I structure it right, if the foundation is good, then the structure is good unless I use wrong stuff to structure it. And that's what the church is doing to people today. The preachers are giving you wrong stuff and calling it structure, but it's not good. It's not strong. You can't be strong without being structurally and foundationally strong. You got to have all of it. So modernistic times is saying we all Christians. I lie, cheat, steal, drink a little booze, have a little suck of this, a little suck of that. You know, we all Christians. We all going to the same place. I'm not going where you going. Because I know we ain't going to the same place. Not according to what this Bible says. Signs of structural damage is this. It has bowed walls. It has gaps where your walls and floors meet. Drywall cracks, especially around door frames. Over the course of time, it is normal for nail pops to come up. You know what you see coming out of people? Supposed to be in there good and nailed it up. A little storm came, a little wind blew one day, and a nail popped up. Now, if the nail keeps popping out, well, what's going to become of the wall? You're nailed to something. But if anything shakes it a little bit over a period of time, that's how you tell who's for real. Anybody can act like that. Anybody can come forth like, hey, I got it. But the people that last over a course of time, that's the solid ones. That's the real thing. Anything else is not the real thing. You know what? When they used to build cars wouldn't fold up like an accordion. Years ago, a car was strong. They used steel. They used strong stuff. Now, bump it if you want to. The door just fold up. You ain't got to have a bad accident. It's how they structure it now. They charge you more money, but less quality. So we got a lot of Christians, they say, don't have no quality. They can't stand up for anything. That's what God wants to do with you, Tashana, to teach you, hey, baby, be strong. Be strong. Because I'm not going to let you whine. In the wrong, it's in the wrong, you know. I said, let's move on. I don't know how to do it. I said, you know how to do it. You can do it. You can do it. What if I don't? You know, what if me? Go and follow what you've been told. I'm not going there with you. Do not go to people's pity party. People that's not structured well is always wanting you to feel sorry for them. I don't like you. I like people that say, hey, me and the devil had a fight, but I won. In spite of everything he did, I came out on top. I may went through some storms and some rains and through the fire and the flood, but you know what? I'm still standing. I'm still standing in spite of all of it. Yes. Understand. Another thing happens when the structure's not good, it starts having cracked basement walls, horizontal stair steps or verticals. Everything starts changing in shape. It's uneven or bouncy floors. Now, I go over to Dr. Adams. He's a chiropractor, and I go there every other week. But every time I get right past the desk, my feet go. I said, Dr. Adams, if you don't fix this floor, you're going to get sued. And they're just laughing about it. I thought, every time, now my feet's going just fine. Ain't nothing wrong with my feet. But when it's supposed to be moving smooth, it hits a bump in the floor. So you stumble. Something's wrong under there. You can't just put a piece of carpet over it and disregard it, because when you carpet it and make it look pretty, you'll have the same problem. It ain't going to change it. Okay? Uneven or bouncy floors. Sticking windows or doors. Try to close the door and it stick. It's supposed to open and shut. That's what's wrong with the church. Everything is getting stuck. Get a grip. You try to get it open to talk to them and it sticks. You'll pull on it again, it sticks. Really, when it starts sticking, it means get off of me. I'm not liking what you say. That man they brought to the church not long ago, what's his name, Liz? Rodney. The truth beat his head off. Used to sit right there looking like this. And he said, can I speak to Sister Rose? Yeah. I said, what is it? You about to scare me to death. I said, well, if you get right, you won't be scared. I'm not trying to scare you, honey. I'm trying to tell you you're going to hell if you don't change. Well, I want you to know, Sister Rose, I love God. I said, no, you don't. You love running women. How can you love God and love running women at the same time? Don't tell me that. And when I just shut his mouth right up with truth, all right then, goodbye. Here it is, brother. You old. Come telling me, Sister Rose, I don't run women no more. I say, you can't. You got neuropathy in your big feet. You can't run nobody. I'm not talking to you about running women. That don't keep you from lusting after them and hope they'll walk over to you because you can't get up. I thought the other day when I was watching that funeral that Jesse Jackson looks like a stuffed bear. Somebody having to help him up on both sides. Belly. That's what I said. Is that Jesse Jackson? Face puffed up and swollen. Ugly. Age just uglied him right on away. Of course, sin had a part. And then he's going to get up from in here, somebody on this side. I thought, if your belly is preventing you from being able to stand up, that's heavy. And he's just pushing, trying to get up from side to side. It was so, I thought, why didn't you stay home? I would have just said, I'm not going. I don't want people to see me in this condition. That man looked horrible. I said, I could only believe it was him. I haven't seen him for years. Listen. The lying prophets are changing the old rules. The true church will never be shaken. Neither shall hell prevail against it. So no matter what the devil is doing, the true church ain't going to be shaken. The true Christian is going to stay true to God. The true Christian is not going to change roads because everybody else is changing them. A multitude is going to hell. A traveler every now and then is going to heaven. It says everybody ain't going. They talk about it, but they ain't going. Got to have the real thing. And it is in this hour. Paul told Timothy the time is coming. It's here. When they will not endure sound doctrine. They don't want to hear it. No matter what. You got to tell it to them. Sometimes I tell it softly. Sometimes you got to hurt me in my chair. You'll be okay. Swallow that. It may not taste good going down, but if you take it, you're going to be better. Years ago, the old folks used to give us castor oil. Open your mouth, gal. You're thinking, oh my God. Slick, stinking, every bad thing you could think of. But if you can get it down, you'll feel better. If you can get the truth down, you'll feel better. It may not feel good right now. You may not like the taste of it. There's one thing that will keep you out the kingdom is a frown on your face for truth and saying, I don't have to do it that way. Oh, yes, you do. You got to do it God's way. He said, this is what I want you to do. You got to do it like that. Listen. If I look at the fact that I looked up this word. I had a pretty good idea what it is, but look it up. It's the cornerstone. The cornerstone or foundation stone are setting stones. Without that cornerstone, the building won't be solid either because it helps to set it all, okay? So is the first stone set in the construction of a masonry foundation? It's important since all other stones will be set in reference to that. And so this stone determines the position of the entire structure. That's why Jesus said, I'm the cornerstone. With me, you can be all these things. Without me, you can't. I'm the main thing. The whole thing functions from this. That's where the power is. All of that's there. You got to understand the purpose and the reason it is there. And in this hour, the more you speak truth, the more people are going to hate you. I feel for our preachers that I leave behind because they don't like me and I don't give a cotton picking hoot if they do. But some of these going to buckle it. Is there any way I can change that? No, I can't. I'm not going to fix it. Somebody come to me and get smart with me about something I said in the message. I said, well, I'm not going to apologize for it. Standing at the desk looking stupid. Sister Rose, you know what you were saying this morning? Yeah, I don't agree. I said, and? Let's move on. And? Do I care? You think I'm going to take it back? You're in for a rude awakening. I'm not taking it back. There was some lesbians came to the church I guess it was about 5 or 6 of them, came one Sunday. They said they'd been here before, but I had never made reference to homosexuality. And if we won't be coming back to this church after what she said. I said, oh, you're not coming back home. Really? Is there anything I can say to make you come back? Don't come back. You're not the church. If you decide not to be here, you're not the church. Some lady said one time, she got mad with me about the truth many years ago. And she said, honey, I'm not paying my tithes up in there. Sister Rosa never paid for her shoes from my tithes. I said, honey, your tithes couldn't buy my shoes. You know how little your tithes are? And if they could buy them, I don't need yours. How did I get my shoes? Before you came in the picture. Are you stupid? It doesn't matter. I'm going to have new shoes till I die. And whether you here or you're not here, it doesn't make any difference. She act like that's going to be a thing there. You won't be buying no shoes. I don't need your money. Get a grip, baby. You're not that important. You know what? Every Christian needs to realize you're not so important until God can't snatch a knot in you. Keep on fighting it if you want to. Fighting truth makes it worse for you. Every time I run up on somebody who's fighting truth, they keep giving me excuses. Well, no, I was wore out yesterday by the time I got to church from talking to this person on the phone. Just kept on jumping from one thing to I said it's not that way. If you come in my house, you say, who's she talking to? I got a nut on the phone and I got to raise my voice because keep on talking stupid. I said, no, the fact is you don't want to accept who you are. I started off like this. No, that won't be like that. Well, yeah, you should do such. Well, no, honey. Just keep on lying. That's why I say it ain't changing. And I'm going to have to hang up the phone. But let me get this in. Let me talk loud enough so you can hear me. Can't whisper truth. He says, cry out. Cry loud. Spare not. Lift up thy voice like a trumpet. Show my people their transgression, the house of Israel their sin. Speak it out. Make it known. You don't want to do that. You know what nail pops are I just told you about? Is any stress caused by movement of the framing can loosen their grip. That's what a lot of Christians are. A little bit of strain, any little strain, they have a pop out. And some people sitting in the audience now with Every has another pop. Every time I say something they don't like, it's uncomfortable. You know, Sister Rose is a nice person, but I think that she should use a little tact. I'm not using nothing. I'm going to tell you this is true. How about that? You know what? I wasn't really a scary person in the world, not easily scared. Sometimes I got myself in a position that could have made me end up dead. I might get a little nervous. But for the most part, I was never scared to say what I need to say. And my sister said one day, and I was talking on the phone, you know, Rose, you always was the type, even when you was a teenager, you always said whatever you thought. I said, yeah, still doing that. Got saved and it got stronger. They don't like it when you just say this is the truth. Don't beat around. Don't try to fix it. This is what's going on. I have dealt with so much stuff this past week. I get off the phone and say, Lord, thank you for salvation. Thank you for the mind to just want to be honest and right. Quit making excuses going to God with him because he's not paying attention to you. You are what you are. If that's good, that's good. If it's bad, it's bad. Ask him to change it. But don't try to fix it. The more you try to fix the truth, the worse it gets. Because you can't do nothing against the truth, only for it. So if I can't do nothing against it, why am I fighting it? Wasting your time, wasting your energy. Like I told that girl came to my house, 2 of them came. And one of them was wrong. The other one wasn't. This one that's in the military, she wants to boss this one around. And then she says, well, Sister Rose, I told this other girl things she shouldn't do and how she should do. And she's better for it today. I said, everybody don't want your counsel. Whore trying to talk to another whore. They're not listening to you. I'm listening to you. Oh, you telling me I shouldn't have sex with John. Well, did you have it? Well, that's a different thing. No, it's not. It's the same thing. So, stop for a minute. She don't want to. I said, baby, she don't want to hear you. Your life does not demonstrate power. She'll listen to me because I'm not you. She got the first time I ever counseled somebody in my house that reached over and got their coat. I didn't even offer a coat. Reached over and got her a coat, stood up and put it on. I said, well, baby, it's been good talking to you. And I said, I hope you still come to church. She ain't been back since. But the truth is this. You can't tell truth if it's going to establish people liking you and coming to your church. If they don't come, that's okay. The church goes on. People are going to get saved. Everybody ain't going to hate the truth. Some people are going to tell you, thank you. Thank you. See. Charge them that are rich in this world that they be not high-minded, nor trust in uncertain riches, but in the living God who giveth us richly all things to enjoy, that they do good, that they be rich in good works, ready to distribute, willing to communicate, laying up in store for themselves a good foundation against the time to come. What time? The time of temptation, the time of trouble, the time to get a good foundation that they may lay hold on eternal life. You want to last. You don't want to be one of these. Too many people starting out today, they don't last. They here for a while. How many have we seen in this church come through here shouting, talking in tongues? And thank God for our pastor, that big one over here with the brown teeth. He was always talking stuff to me all the time. We thank God for our pastor. And so. Tried to cut my head off for the truth. That's what I thought. I've been here 20 years. I guess he said, you done told me the truth for the last time. I'm out of here. And so since you was the organist and pianist, and I thought you ain't the only one that can play. And check this out. If we didn't have nobody playing, we'd make our own music. I set myself down there and can't play a lick, but I'll make you some noise. I'm building a strong foundation against the day to come, that I might be able to survive, that I may make it to the end so I can have eternal life. I got to do that. So if I tell you the truth, it's a foundation truth. It's trying to get you established so that you won't fall apart, that you're still able to take some stuff. Not the least little thing don't shake you. I'm encouraged. When you see a Christian going through the fire and they look out and say, I'm encouraged. I'm encouraged. Why? Every time I come in this church, as I talk to the homeless people and see Devin sitting over there, I think, he heard something. So he come back. Keep coming. God got some good things for you. Some good things. Where's all your homeless buddies? Stay in there. Yeah, they're one of them. But pretty much, no, not tonight. Do you want to not be homeless? You have to be sure that you make God number one. Make him your chief cornerstone. We want everything from God, but we don't want to give nothing back. If you want God to move for you, you move for God. That's what you got to do. Offer something that you never offered before. He cares about us. He loves us. But if you expect to make it until the rapture takes place or until the day of your death, you better have a strong foundation or you'll never survive. Any little thing will shake you loose. You'll be out here cussing people out, beating up people. Come to church, Sister Rose, pray for me. I just beat somebody's rear end out there. You can't do that. I had to stop beating up people. I had to start loving people. I had to quit cursing them out, calling them names, laughing at them and waiting for the chance to beat them down to the ground. Heartless, ruthless. You know, I'm so glad I ain't that person no more. And sometimes I'll talk to my kids. I said, Mom, we can't even picture you like that. I said, you better be glad I was saved because I'd have probably sent some of y'all on into eternity. I was stone crazy. They said, Mama, we're so glad you saved. Can't even picture you could be like that. Yes, I could. But salvation changed me. And he put me on the solid rock. And nothing moves me. I'm not in the least bit thinking about, I hope I can make it. This is this testimony. I've been going through so much, and I'm asking the Lord, please help me. And I don't want to backslide. They're getting ready to backslide. If they say, I'm staying saved, praise God, they're going to be saved. But the one who's saying, I don't want to backslide, I don't want to do nothing wrong, they're going nowhere. You got to pass all that. I told somebody the other week, I said, ask the Lord to give you some tough skin. Who was that? Somebody I was talking to. Oh, there he is. I said, Wayne, to stay alive in this world, when people are doing you wrong and you're going through a difficult time, you need to become hard. And I ain't talking about hard in here. I'm talking about alligator hard skin. So when you stick me, I don't feel it. I'm not going to change it. But I'm going to stand tall. You don't get anywhere in this world, I'm telling you, and you ain't going to make it in anything you do unless you can be tough. You got to be tough to survive. Sam Cooke used to sing the song years ago before I got saved, Only the Strong Survive. That's a true song. It was a worldly song, but a true words. Only the strong survive. You got to spend your life doing everything you can to be as strong as you can so when the storm comes, I don't fall apart. Come right to the end, serving God, and come right to the end and lose out. The race is not given to the swift nor the strong. To the one that goes through to the end, you can't make it to the end without being strong. Nobody can. Nobody can go make it with God if you don't know what this says. If you don't read this and you only dust it off on Sunday and bring it to church, you got a problem. You can't fight the devil without it. This is the sword of the Spirit. You cannot fight the devil unless you know the word. Oh, you're trying to tell the devil, you just a lie. And so why is he a lie? I don't know, but I know one thing, he's a lie. Jesus, he quoted the scripture to him. Get behind me, Satan. Thou sayest not the things that be of God. Get behind me. And Satan was saying something else. He said, but it is written. But it is written. But it is written. If you can't quote what is written, that devil going to beat your brains out because he don't believe nothing unless Jesus' name is attached to it. Your name don't have no power. His name does. So you got to understand, look at here. I'm going to make it. I had this little smart-aleck woman tell me this a few weeks ago because she's gone. When you get that smart, you have to leave. And she got smart with me about a month or two before I had to let her go. And said, I don't take disrespect from people. I have a price tag on my head. I got to help get you to the kingdom, so I'm not going to be pushed around by you as a pastor. You get one member in this church stand up and say, Sister Rose, let me tell you something. Honey, it'll pop all over the building. That is not going to happen because that one person stand up, oh, before he can get out of his seat, he's already saying, I better not do that. I better sit down. So I just stopped and said, huh? Nothing. No, go ahead. Nothing. You best not do that. I love people, but to be disrespected as a leader or a pastor, that's the ultimate thing. It's like, do you know the job? If I fail to do it with you, if I fail to do it with anybody, give you the truth, I go to hell. So no matter how much I say I'm saved, if I lied to people and didn't direct them in the right path, God says, you're going to hell. Paul said, I'm innocent of the blood of all men. Why? Because I told them the whole counsel of God. Nobody can say when I check off this planet, you know what they'll say? I'll tell you one thing, if you was wrong, she'll tell you in a minute. That's why I left that church and went on down to St. Luke's. St. Luke's, it better tell you the truth. But 9 times out of 10, if you can find a place in this town away from this truth, rest assured, it ain't taking you to heaven. Truth is truth. I don't care if you go from here to Louisiana. Truth ain't going to change. If you find a place where they're not teaching it, you're going to hell with them. So understand it. I want you to know that we have an intense job in this pulpit. Every Sunday that I leave from here, I better know that I said it right, that I did it right, and that I didn't come up here with a bunch of crap, because God has registered me every time. He's registered me on who I allow to come to who comes to this pulpit. If you don't speak the truth up here, you can't stay up here. That's all laying on my shoulders. So I told this woman, I said, I saw you in church this morning. The spirit of discernment sees a lot of things. I saw you in church this morning. You have the face of a traitor. Well, let me tell you this, Sister Rose. I'm going to make it. It ain't mean I want to make it. Let me rephrase that. I'm not just going to want to make it. I'm going to make it. And I said, I'm getting ready to hang up my phone, and don't you come back. Called back 5 times. I thought, I'm done with you. That's the 2nd time you done smarted off, and let me tell you. You don't tell me. I'm here to tell you. So when the church starts telling the preacher he needs to get his hat and go home, that shouldn't be. I'm telling you, the nature of people, if they can get away with it, they will get away with it, because you know what they'll do? Just start something in the church. Start on one person. If that person gets away with it, 2 or 3 going to follow. That 2 or 3 get away with it, 3 or 4 or 5 going to follow. Then when you know one thing, the whole church is messed up. It's in a mess. You can't preach in a mess. You have to clean it out. And sometimes I come to church and say, you know what? I've been shoveling stuff all week to keep the house of God clean, because people won't pray. People won't give themselves to God. And when they don't, they create a problem. And you better take care of it. That's why he told Joshua, while you down here asking me why Israel turned their backs or ran from their enemies, he said, you got sins in the camp. Now I'm going to tell you, unless you get rid of it, I won't be with you. He told Joshua, you get rid of it. I'm waiting on the Lord to do something. You do it. Get rid of it. It's okay. You're going to be fine without it. How do these people think if I'm not in the church then it can't go on? I don't care if your tithes was $1 million, the church is going to go on if you walk out today. Yes. I want you to stand to your feet and come on, sing that song. If God build a city. If he don't build you, there ain't nothing going to stand. If you refuse the foundation, you'll never make it. All right. Put your hands together, because that's all right.
If I listen to what some people say, I turned back long ago. They said I'd never see it through, I never make it, I was told. But I know in whom I've trusted, He is my dearest friend. I never turn back or retreat, I'll stand firm to the end. If God built the city, then be sure it will stay. He placed it on a cornerstone that never will give way. Guarded by His angels, strengthened by His hand. If God built the building, then be sure it will stand.